Okay.
How's sunny Queensland?
In lockdown, yeah, very exciting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just been extended. It was supposed to end on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Now they've extended it till Sunday, but I imagine they'll keep extending it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. How many cases have you got there at the moment?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I've stopped looking at the news. It's too depressing.
Yeah. We've uh, we've had our fair share of lockdown or a couple of lockdowns over here, which have been pretty hard on the economy and everyone around. But for me, I work in construction and we've had to keep working, so it's been good for us.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be
Anyway,
it's going to be a way of life for quite a while, I believe.
I totally agree.
Yeah, this is just the beginning, not the
So
end.
yeah, so on the weekend we had a rather adrenaline pumping experience. It was my raising my first marlin,
Yep.
which was quite a big fish when it actually jumped. Um, and on a little TLD 32 speed, it proceeded to strip quite a bit of line off the spool and got a little bit anxious towards the end of it. But it dove deep, and my question is what are the techniques for getting a fish to come back up?
Look, it's all pretty simple, but let's just start at the beginning, um, and work our way through it. What sort of boat are you fishing out of?
It's an aluminium gullwing, tri gullwing, built in I think Brisbane somewhere many years ago. We
Okay.
picked it up here and refitted it. It's got a 140 Suzuki on the back.
Yep.
It's about a 6 meter long boat.
Yep. And have you got outriggers?
No, I don't. Not at the moment.
Okay. How far offshore were you?
From the reef, probably 150 meters from the reef. We've got quite deep shelves here.
Yeah.
Oh, when I say quite deep, they drop away deep from very shallow depths. So you could be sitting at 3, 4 meters depth on the edge of the wall and it goes straight down to 70, 80 meters.
Yep. Okay. And you got good currents and all that sort of stuff. You're actually
Big.
you're in a spot where there would be an awful lot of big fish. So this will not be the last one you come across.
I hope not.
No, it won't be. Basically, the Indian Ocean has got a lot of big fish in it because there's not a whole lot of game fishermen fishing it. You'll have I don't know if you keep track of the fishing in Exmouth at all.
Not a lot, no.
Okay, well, your fishery would be better than that because it's pretty much untouched. I mean, I know
Yeah,
you've got a lot of
we
commercial
do.
fishing around there, but it's not really concentrated around the small islands. So, it's more the open ocean stuff, fishing in the current. So anything that relies on a reef is going to be in good supply.
Yeah.
Okay. So what gear have you got? What gear have you got?
Sorry.
What gear have you got? What rods and reels have you got?
So on the weekend, I was fishing with I've got a Tiagra 50Y, Tiagra 50 with 24 kilo line on it.
Yeah.
I've got the TLD 32 speed with 24 kilo, and then I've got two smaller units with 15 kilo. One's a Turium 20 or 30, I can't remember, and the other one's a TLD 20,
Yeah. Okay.
just for the lighter setup.
Okay. Are you a member of a club or anything like that?
There's no clubs or anything over here.
Okay. Uh,
It's just a couple of us that get together and go fishing.
okay. And what do you normally catch? What are you normally fishing for?
Um, when I'm trolling, it's usually for the wahoo, big Spanish mackerel. We get the odd GT hook up trolling as well.
Yeah.
But we've had some pretty big fish in that regard over here as well.
Yeah. What about sailfish?
Uh, I've had a couple of I've had caught one sailfish many years ago, but nothing recently.
Okay.
They are around, and I do see them jumping.
Yeah. Yeah. That's excellent.
Um, yeah, the one I caught was about 60 odd kilos quite a few years ago now.
Yeah, that's a good size sail. Well, that sort of shows that your reef's intact, which is why I ask about sailfish. When the place is overfished, sailfish are one of the first things to go and disappear. So your reefs and
Okay.
your fisheries in pretty good condition. Um, Biggest question is, do you now want to start concentrating on catching those big blues?
Yeah, I think I do.
All right.
It was a big adrenaline rush the other day, but yeah, I think I do.
Okay. There would be a lot around. They'd be basically just outside where you're catching most of your other fish. They'll sort of be. You'll find the edge where you don't catch so many wahoo and all that sort of stuff, which are right on the edge. It'll sort of be the next level out, which is where the marlin are. And it's actually quite likely that, because I guess you were fishing where you were catching most of the other fish most of the time. Is that about right?
It's a very productive spot for me.
Yeah, okay. You'll probably find it was a big black and not a blue.
Okay.
Um, you'll find most of your blues will show up when you get a tuna run, like a yellowfin or bluefin tuna run.
Yeah, which have been around recently over there as well.
Okay, well that could well be, could have been a blue marlin, but generally, if you're fishing where everything else was, it's generally blacks.
Okay.
And because you've got sails, you're probably going to have blacks as well. And because you've got deep water, they're likely to be big blacks. So, but you also do have big blues, so don't worry about not having blues. Okay, the first thing is get heavier line. Get yourself
Yeah.
get yourself a full set of 80 pound gear, and get either 80 wide Tiagras or 80 wide Macaras, which have got more torque than the Tiagras and a really good reel. So either
Okay.
one of those would do the job, and probably short bent butts. Are you fishing? What style are you fishing? Are you actually fishing stand up or leaving the rods in the holders?
Stand up.
So you're actually pulling the rods out of the holders and using a gimbal and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Get yourself a decent gimbal belt and harness as well. You look like you're pretty strong and stocky.
Yeah, got a bit of weight to me.
Okay. The Black Magic will suit you. If you've got guys you're fishing with that are skinnier, the AFTCO ones would suit them a lot better.
Okay.
Okay. Have you got a regular crew?
No, I wouldn't say regular. No, it's a mismatch of mixed match of people that come out when they've got free time, and my partner in the boat would probably be my most regular crew. And yeah, in saying that, he doesn't come out and fish for the marlin or to do the trolling that I do. He likes his reef fish, so no, I don't really have. To answer that, I don't have a regular crew that I would have continually coming out, all the same people at the same, trying for the same fish.
All right. In that case, I'd basically recommend the Macaras, Macara 80 wides, which
Okay.
are fully rolled rods. I don't know what rods are on the market at the moment, but you want a fully rolled short bent butt.
Yeah.
Okay. And I say the Macaras because they've got more torque. If the guys aren't used to fishing, the Macaras have got more torque. They're just easier to use for novices. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
You can use braid or Dacron backing, which is probably a good idea there, and just a nylon top shot of around about a 80-pound top shot. Okay. You can use 100-pound Dacron backing. Probably get them spooled up wherever you're going to buy them and go from there. Don't use wind-on leaders if you haven't got outriggers. Part of trolling lures is you really want to get that leader out of the water, especially with wahoo in the area. They're going to bite your swivels and stuff. So you certainly don't want to use wind-on leaders and short lure leaders. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, the next thing is you're fishing an area and you've got friends who know how to, I imagine, read a reef and know what pressure points look like. Is that right on a reef?
Slowly teaching the guys that come out, as they come out on the boat, giving them a bit of experience on behind the wheel and things like that, and giving myself a break and a bit of time to fish. So it's a work in progress, Peter,
Okay.
to be honest.
All right. So you're starting to work out where the back eddies are along the reef edges and stuff, along the points and all that
Yes.
sort of stuff. Okay. Just extrapolate that to the whole island as it's intercepting the ocean currents. And that'll tell you where the bigger fish are. You basically want to fish the back eddies coming off the side of the island where the currents are basically hitting it. Okay.
Yep.
and generally that's the green side. You'd have
Okay.
a dry side, and you'd have a wet side, where the rain basically falls, and that will be the side of the island where most of the bigger fish will be. You probably found that with your reef fishing anyway.
Yep.
Okay. It's also
Yeah, that and the dogtooth tuna hang out on one side mainly.
That's right. That's right. Well, you'll find that the blues are and the blacks are there. Okay. Pretty much
Okay. Yep.
all islands are pretty much the same. So concentrate on those areas. Um, most of the population is generally on the dry side though, because it's calmer and better living. But the jungle side is where most of the fish will be. Okay.
Yep.
Is it hard for you to get to
So,
that side?
Look, this island that we fish is it's called Atauro Island. It's 14 nautical miles off what we call mainland Timor, which is an island or half an island in itself.
Okay.
It's right in the middle of the Wetar Strait. So it actually divides the Wetar Strait and the Umbai Strait.
Yep.
So as you were saying before, it does have a huge water flow. I think it's one of the second highest water flow of any body of water in the world, with currents and the amount of water. So it's not hard to get to. It is if it's rough, but on good days when we do get over there, it's easy to fish.
How deep does the trench get?
Between here and Atauro, between Dili and Atauro, it's 3,290 metres. The other side of the island, it's I think it drops away to a couple of thousand odd metres.
All right. In the strait between the islands, do you get migrations of tuna? Is that where the yellowfin run? Or do they run?
And I saw some out there the other day when we were heading over. We also get the whales coming through.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The straits when the yellowfin are running are probably the right place to hunt them. But
okay.
Good luck with your crew, because they'll be fishing for food. They're not going to be fishing for excitement of blue marlin. So the trick with blue marlin is you find the yellowfin and you try not to catch them. You just hang around the outside and try and catch what's eating them, regardless of the size of the yellowfin. There's blue marlin eating them. They'll eat things 20% their own body weight. So good luck trying to stay away from the yellowfin with your crew. I imagine the crew.
Yeah, and especially they don't come out all that often. They're
all right.
They're definitely after a feed.
Yeah, are they allowed to sell the catch as well?
No, we generally don't. We stay at a friend's place on the island. He's got an eco lodge over there. So whatever I catch that's excess goes to him. And he feeds not only his staff but the local community and whatnot, which are pretty hard pressed.
Yep. That's pretty typical of most islands. Okay, so make a deal.
If I happen to bring a marlin in, I'd take it to him with if we kept it, we'd take it in there and we'd divide it up amongst the community and give them all some fish.
Yeah, but that's pretty standard practice. Even I do that in those areas too. They'll certainly look after when you give them fish, don't they?
Oh yes. I
was actually made the chief
Sorry?
I was actually made a chief of one of the outer islands in Fiji because I gave the chief a Marlin. So I was quite...
No, the local guys on the island look after me very well. They, if I've got my boat moored up there, they'll walk down in the middle of the night just to check on my boat and make sure no one's touched it or it hasn't floated away. And it's a really good community.
Yeah. Oh, good luck to you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be in those areas. You're very blessed. Okay, let's run through the fishing. Get yourself some 80-pound outfits. They're going to cost a mint, but they're worth it because they'll last you a lifetime. Set your drags at 1/3 the breaking strain of the line, which will be 12 kilos. When you bought your fish prints, did you buy them rigged, the lures?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay. So the rigs are fine. So you set it at 12 kilos of drag. The secret with trolling lures and maintaining your hookup rates is don't troll into the current. You basically zigzag down current or across the current but don't go into the current. Basically, the fish are designed to swim into the current, so they're very comfortable swimming behind the lures and trying to work out what they are, and they might reject them or just build them. If you're trolling across the current or down current, the fish has to use a lot of energy, so it's not going to muck around, and its bite will be aggressive. Okay, to the point.
Well, that's interesting because we were trolling into the current when this hookup happened the other day.
Yeah, and the hook fell out.
Yes. Good point.
That's the way it goes. But also, you're using light gear, and the hooks may not have gone in with the pressure that you're using anyway. A marlin skull is solid bone. You're not going to get hooks into them that easily. Whereas, that's what you're trying to get. I don't know if you can even see that screen. Can't.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can? Okay. Well, that's what you're trying to get the hook into. So you need a fair bit of pressure. 80-pound line will sink those hooks securely, and you'll have a much better hookup rate as well. Because what happens is when you're trolling into the current, the fish is comfortable. It'll actually swim over the lure, and it keeps going. So the hook sort of just folds down, and it's not really going to get the secure hookup rate in the top of the mouth. When you're trolling down current, it basically lunges at it, and you're basically taking off straight away. You probably noticed that when you had the hookup rate, you probably noticed that the rod straightened out before it bent and then took off again, if you were watching it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I turned around and it started screaming, and then it bit of pressure relieved, and it took off again.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what's happening. Basically, it's comfortable swimming into the current, so it's going in the same direction as your boat, and it's going to keep doing that for a short period anyway, so that the hookup's not secure. Okay. When you're fighting the fish, that rule of the fish is comfortable swimming up current is the main thing to remember. As long as the fish is going up current, and if you're up current of the fish and pulling it up current, you've got no control of the fish at all. So basically the tactic is get down current of the fish and stay down current of the fish so that all your energy of pulling at it is making it uncomfortable so it fights harder. As soon as that line gets to 45 degrees or under, like straight down, or even at less than 45 degrees, drive away from the fish, go down current, the fish will pop up. If you've got enough drag, like basically you're using quite light drag, that system probably wouldn't have worked. But with 12 kilos of drag on 80, you will be able to pull that fish around. That sort of works on fish up to 10 times line class. So if you get one up to about 800 pound, it'll still work. If you've hooked a grounder, then you're in for a very long fight, regardless of what you do. Okay. but up to 10 to 1, that system works really well. And basically, because you're in an outboard boat, you're not going to be backing up that much. You're basically quartering the fish and staying down current and just trying to intercept it as it tires. And it will tire if you stay down current off it.
Yeah.
Okay. Once it gets below 45 degrees, those massive pectoral fins come into play, and you're not fighting anything. You're basically, the fish is quite happy cruising with its massive pectoral fins. Okay. Have you seen the photo of the pectoral fins?
And you're deadlifting it?
Well, you're not lifting it. You're not doing a thing to it. You're actually doing absolutely nothing to it. That's the photo with the pectoral fins. They're designed to basically glide. They're very much like birds of prey. They're quite happy just hovering in the currents, facing into the current, waiting for some food to come near them. Then they sprint after it. They really don't have a lot of energy for their size. They're not designed to. They can sort of sprint, say, 1,000 yards, but that's about it for them. And then they need a breather, and then they'll regain their composure and take off again. But they're just sprinters. If you think of a lot of the fish you catch, like 1,000-pound dogtooth, you're not going to catch it. 1,000-pound yellowtail kingfish, you're not going to catch it. 1,000-pound mackerel tuna, you're not going to catch it. So, because they're sprinters, we've got a chance of catching them. Okay? So just try and intercept the fish, keep the pressure on it. Really important too is you see a lot of videos where the rod's gone off and everybody is pulling in the lines and nobody's grabbing the rod. Somebody has to grab the rod as soon as it goes off. You're going to be going forwards anyway, so don't worry about the other gear out there. Just start fighting the fish and positioning the boat down current. So you start fighting the fish and start affecting it before it's finished its first run. If it finishes its first run before you've done that, then it'll regain its composure and really take off again. You're in for a long fight.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, we were only 2 up on the boat. We had 4 lines out, and it did catch us a bit by surprise because we were coming through quite a bit of heavy current chop.
Yep.
Breaking waves because of the current when it did take. So had to stay on the wheel and try and get and thought about getting the other lines in first. So that's an interesting way of doing it. Just keep going and fight the fish first.
The fish will settle down in under 2 minutes, at which time you get the other lines in. Once things settle down, the fish will slow down. It's not going to keep going at full speed for more than 2 minutes. It can't. It's not designed to do that. So once they settle down, then you get the other gear in. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, you move rods out of
that makes sense.
You move rods out of the angler's ways, but you don't waste your time pulling them in until you have to.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's really about it. You do that, and it really is as simple as that. Because you've got your lures rigged, you don't have to get into rigging. Basically, the fish prints are rigged right, and I'm glad you got it on a fish print. Which one was it? The slimy or tuna? I think yellowfin pack.
The slimy.
Slimy, yeah.
You sent me up a slimy pack with 4 different lures, and I had a Brad J out the back.
Yeah.
So and it took the closest one opposite the fish strip dredge.
Yeah, that's not surprising. It's a good system. The systems. I wish I had a few more slimy skirts. We're pretty much run out of them. So at least you didn't lose your.
I'm going to have to hitch up for some more. I'm going to have to order some more up because this one got a couple of bits ripped out of it.
That's all right. Just keep using it. I'll let everyone know when we get some more. I actually thought I had enough supply for 2 years, but anyway. And during COVID, trying to get supply is a bit of a nightmare, and you really don't even know if you want to get supply because of the way things are going, depending on how long things are locked down. So we'll see what happens over the next year.
Yeah.
And I hope you catch a lot of fish. You're in the right spot. So good luck.
Yeah, well, no, it seems to be. So it's the first marlin I've raised here anyway, which is good. It's a good sign.
There'll be a lot more once you start working it out and work out the pressure points, the way the currents are going, and sort of know that they're with the yellowfin tuna most of the time. The blacks will be there most of the time, nearly all year, but the blues will be in the same area as the yellowfin.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm heading back over there in another 3 weeks, so hopefully we'll have some success, and I'll see if I can try and get some heavier gear over here in the meantime.
Where are you now? Where are you based?
I'm in Dili.
Oh, you're in Dili. Okay.
It's it's an hour's flight north of Darwin.
Okay. Yeah, you'll probably have to get them from the east coast. I think. I don't know if anybody had stock on the west coast of Australia.
No. I'll have a look online and see who's got something.
Actually, you'll probably find them in Jakarta.
Could do. Shipping out of Jakarta is a pain in the ass.
Aren't you in Indonesia?
Anyway.
Yeah? Okay.
Sorry?
All right, I thought it'd be easier out of Indonesia.
It can be, but it's the customs and whatnot can be painful out of Indonesia. Getting stuff exported out of there, and especially small stuff. If it's got to come by container, you've got to find a container that can be packed in, and can be difficult. So whereas I have containers coming out of Darwin all the time.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, well, that'll work. Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you very much. Well, I'll obviously be in touch once I do land something.
Okay, I look forward to it. I'm sure it's going to happen. Is it okay with you if I actually put up this video on the site?
Sure, of course.
All right. Thanks very much for that.
No problem whatsoever.
Okay. All the best.
Thanks, Peter.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.